As a game rooted in the classic Chinese novel Journey to the West, Black Wukong is filled with a wealth of background and stories related to Chinese mythology. However, if you're not particularly interested in Chinese classical literature, don't read this complex novel, which exceeds 500,000 words. I hope this video series will help you quickly understand the key characters in the game by combining Chinese mythology with Journey to the West, enhancing your gaming experience. Let's get started. Chapter 2 takes place even further in the past than Chapter 1. A long time ago, in a land where the sun sets, there was a kingdom called Sihali. The kingdom was bordered by the sea, and every evening, the sun would sink into these waters. Because the sun's heat was so intense, the sea would boil and emit a sharp, piercing sound as it set, often terrifying the infants in the kingdom to death. The king sought help from Bodhisattva Liji, who gifted him the drum of the setting sun. The king was instructed to beat the drum every evening as the sun went down. The deep sound of the drum would drown out the shrieking of the boiling sea, protecting the citizens. Grateful for the Bodhisattva's protection, the people of Sihali devoted themselves to Buddhism, building golden statues of Buddha, and the religion became the main belief system of the kingdom. Over time, however, the flourishing of Buddhism began to challenge the king's authority in the eyes of the people, who started to place their faith in Buddha more than in the king. Fearing for his power, the king ordered the citizens to abandon Buddhism, destroy the temples, and drove away the monks. When Bodhisattva Lingji heard of this, he was furious with the king's decision and secretly sent his pet beast, Fubin, to destroy the Sihali kingdom. At this time, the powerful yellow wine sage and tiger Vanguard happened to pass through Sihali. They couldn't bear to see the people suffer, so they decided to defeat Fubin. In the game, players will complete side quests to travel back 500 years and team up with Yellow Wine Sage to kill Fubin, learning about this part of history. After Fubin's death, the Sihali king kept Yellow Wine Sage in the kingdom, building him a temple and statues, honoring him as they once honored Lingji. According to Yellow Wine Sage, before battling Fubin, he sensed the presence of Buddha's power, so he knew that defeating Fubin would anger Bodhisattva Lingji. To avoid this, he used his magic to summon a great wind that hid the entire Sihali kingdom within it. 500 years later, Tong Sanzang and Wukong's party entered this hidden kingdom. While on patrol, Tiger Vanguard discovered Wukong and his companions, leading to a fight. In the chaos, Tiger Vanguard captured Tong Sanzang and took him to Yellow Wine Sage's cave. Wukong arrived to rescue him, leading to a battle where Tiger Vanguard was killed by Wukong and Baji. After Tiger Vanguard's death, Yellow Wine Sage summoned a hurricane, but was ultimately defeated by Wukong, who used the wine tamer borrowed from Bodhisattva Lingji. Lingji then cursed the people of Sihali, turning them into rats for abandoning Buddhism. 500 years later, Yellow Wine Sage, taking advantage of Lingji's unguarded moment, attacked and beheaded him before escaping back to the Naru and Sihali kingdom. Lingji, now a headless wandering poet, roams the land until one day he finds the player, gravely injured from an ambush in the ruins. Lingji heals the player's arrow wounds, hoping to enlist their help in defeating Yellow Wine Sage and reclaiming his head. This is where the story of Chapter 2 begins. The first boss you encounter is the King of Flowing Sands and his second son. He was once the king of Sihali. Since the people of the kingdom turned into rats, he and his soldiers have been fixated on restoring their kingdom. From their conversation, we learn that Yellow Wine Sage is their only hope for restoration, but he is currently in seclusion, training. During this time, Tiger Vanguard has been using the citizens as food, leaving the king powerless to stop him. The king urges his son to be patient, as the restoration of the kingdom is their top priority. According to the King of Flowing Sands profile, he has 3 children. The eldest is a skilled warrior, the second son is rather dull, and the youngest is intelligent. 500 years ago, after Yellow Wine Sage defeated Fubin, the king of Flowing Sands declared that rats would be revered in the kingdom, and the common people began living alongside them. The youngest son was unhappy with his father's alliance with demons and betrayal of Buddha, so he left home before the citizens turned into rats. The first prince of the Flowing Sands wasn't always insane. He was once a general in Sea Holly. After Yellow Wine Sage defeated Fubin, the prince was gradually forgotten. Later, he was imprisoned by his own father for disrespecting Yellow Wine Sage. One day, the first prince happened to open the prison door, only to find that the entire kingdom, including himself, had been cursed and turned into rats. This drove him mad, and he became the person he is today, unrecognizable even to his own father. After defeating the first prince, you arrive at Crouching Tiger Temple, guarded by Tiger Vanguard. This Tiger Vanguard is the son of the old Tiger Vanguard from 500 years ago. If you repeatedly talk to the old Tiger Vanguard in the game, you'll hear him mention that he has two sons. The current Tiger Vanguard is the elder of the two. According to his profile, after their father was killed, the brothers did many good deeds for the local people, who built Crouching Tiger Temple in their honor. However, Tiger Vanguard could never forget their father's death. They believed that Yellow Wine Sage was responsible for their father's death by making him fight Wukong alone. When the Sea Holly people accepted the returning Yellow Wine Sage to restore their kingdom, the brothers couldn't forgive this betrayal. They had several clashes with Yellow Wine Sage, but were no match for him. Yellow Wine Sage spared the younger brother's life on the condition that the elder brother stay and work for him. The Tiger Vanguard at Crouching Tiger Temple now lives in pain, unable to avenge his father, and takes out his anger on the citizens of Sea Holly by eating them. After killing Tiger Vanguard and passing through Crouching Tiger Temple, you will encounter Tiger's acolyte on a bridge. After killing him, you obtain a rattle drum. Ringing the drum in 3 different places will trigger the story of Mad Tiger and a child. Mad Tiger is Tiger Vanguard's younger brother. During the fight against Yellow Wine Sage, Mad Tiger was knocked unconscious. When he awoke, he was severely injured and discovered that Tiger Vanguard had become Yellow Wine Sage's subordinate. Furious at what he saw as his brother's betrayal, Mad Tiger went into hiding at the bottom of a well to recover. One day, Tiger's acolyte entered Mad Tiger's territory while searching for medicine for his child, who had fallen ill due to Yellow Wine Sage's powerful wines. Mad Tiger promised to heal the child in exchange for the villagers, whom he would eat. Tiger's acolyte agreed to the deal, and under Mad Tiger's care, the child's health improved. The child grew to admire Mad Tiger, and the two developed a close bond, with Mad Tiger finding a renewed sense of purpose in the child's affection. Eventually, the villagers discovered Tiger's acolyte's betrayal and captured his child, beating him to death. When Tiger's acolyte learned of this, he went mad and slaughtered the entire village before wandering the ruins. Mad Tiger waited for days, but when neither Tiger's acolyte nor the child visited, he ventured out and discovered the child's death. Mad Tiger believed that Yellow Wine Sage was to blame for everything and swore to train and take revenge on him. Yellow Wine Sage is the final boss of this chapter. After decapitating Liji, he hid here. When you meet him, he says,
"Beneath every mountain an abyss lies. Where disparities persist, bloodbaths may arise."
Besides every sage, a villain resides. Beneath every mountain, an abyss lies. Where disparities persist, bloodbaths may arise. Understanding this statement is key to grasping the themes of Chapter 2. These words reflect his view on the relationships between humans, Buddhas, and demons. In this context, disparities refers to the differences in status and class among these groups, not the differences between species. Yellow Wine Sage believes that these inequalities have caused centuries of bloodshed and violence. 500 years ago, Liji, angered by Sea Holly's abandonment of Buddhism, sent his pet Fubin to destroy the kingdom. In Liji's eyes, humans, as lower beings, should not offend Buddha. Yellow Wine Sage, despite his good intentions, had no right to help the Sea Holly people defeat Buddha's pet, leading to the curse that turned the Sea Holly people into rats. An entire Golden Kingdom fell because of Liji's insistence on maintaining this hierarchical order. This is why Yellow Wine Sage returned to Sea Holly after beheading Liji, rather than fleeing elsewhere. It was not only personal revenge against Liji, but also a symbolic rebellion against the tyrannical class system. Unfortunately, Yellow Wine Sage failed. After defeating him, Liji tells a story in a cutscene, attempting to justify the need for this hierarchy, ending with the statement,
Men, beasts, Buddhas, Yaoguais. Each of them bears a distinct root from birth, superior and inferior. None should disturb what's decided. Am I right, Sun Wukong?
To keep the video around 10 minutes, I didn't include all the bosses in this chapter. Some are only loosely connected to the main story, and others are hidden bosses that I don't want to spoil. If you're interested in learning about more bosses, please let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. This is the third video in my Black Myth series. In the next video, I'll dive into the Chapter 3 and explore more fascinating connections between the game, Chinese mythology, and Journey to the West. If you have any other content you'd like to see or suggestions, please let me know in the comments,